Hey, what's up with it, Hood News peeps? We're back, episode 11.
Once. We're still on it.
Yeah, we're on it, man. We're here. We got Hector. We got Captain Jack behind the scenes. Get ready. Go get your Go get your snacks. Go get your tea. Go get ready, friends. Let's do this.
A great show coming up.
Yes.
I am so thankful now I can finally reach my goal. It's tomorrow I reach 100, like 50. I am done with my goal. It's been 2 days. And I already reached it because of you. You helped me so much. Now I'm like $200. Thank you so much this week.
So, Hector, yesterday, we always applaud amazing kids. Like, we're always hoping to hear a story because we hear so much about what the bad kids are out there doing. Yeah. But when we get a story where we hear about the good kids out there and the kids that are driven to start businesses or to give back to the community, we eat that stuff up. Right. So yesterday, almost a little last minute, a little boy named Adrian, his mom reached out and she's like, hey, my son has 2 more hours left. He hasn't made many sales, but he's selling lemonade and chips and $3 a pop. That's how it's selling.
And he was raising money to get into boxing
classes.
For
boxing, right? Yeah. This little boy wanted to help his mom, give him that relief and raise his own money by selling lemonade. I mean, it's a very sweet story and it's amazing. A little kid that young.
Yeah, I saw the story when it was first posted yesterday, Grizzy, and that touched me.
Yeah.
I was raised, by I was very fortunate to have some very tough parents that taught me a lot about work ethic. And my dad gave me a lawnmower at the age of 9 years old and told me to start going more in yards to make a living.
Wow.
Right. So when I saw the post, I was like, man, that reminded me of my parents who told me, taught me a lot about going out and working hard. And so I feel like it's an obligation for the community to go out and also help and support these individuals and these kids too, who are doing things the honest way, right? We should definitely rally around these types of kids.
Yeah, we do. And the Hood News peeps definitely show support. So we had a lot of Hood News peeps. You too, you showed up. You went and...
Yeah, I showed up. I went out there and I got there in about 20 minutes up there on the northwest side, just up above Spring Branch. And came up with the 2 Hood News shirts and gave him some money too as well. But as soon as I pulled up and gave him the shirts, this sweet little boy Adrian, he was out there dancing and jumping up and down. It was so excited.
Yes.
And then there was a line of people. Right when I was walking out, there was a line of cars waiting to give money to this kid.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. So I found out that with all the sales, like he met his goal. Like I think when you showed up, he met the goal. It capped it. There were still more people, so they kind of shut down a little later than usual. He starts today. So today's Tuesday. He starts his boxing classes today, and then he'll be back out tomorrow. So we're very proud of you, Adrian.
And Grizzy, this is what H-Town's all about.
Yes.
We showcase a lot about, the wild and crazy stuff. But we've always said this is that, we're a community that's unified.
Yeah.
And whenever we come around and support individuals like this is what we're all about. People who are watching from Louisiana, from even Australia, you're probably thinking, man, you live in the war zone. It's crazy, but man, when you come to Houston, you're going to feel the love.
The H-Town pride, man. H-Town strong as always.
Monica on Facebook says, this is the kind of kids we need in our community. I hope you continue your little business. God bless your heart. Keep up the great job. I hope you inspire other children to do the same.
And then this is part of, he was getting some of the perks. We had Breach Fitness. They reached out and they said, we'd love to help him out with the free month of classes at our gym. We'll also reach out via PM to his mom. Keep up the hard work, Adrian.
That's what community is all about, Grizzy.
Yes.
Ron on Facebook says, once I get off this drilling rig, hey, props to you, Ron, out there working hard and working your butt off on the rig, and then still following the Hood News while he's out there. He says, once I get off the drilling rig in a couple of weeks, I'm going to drive down from Magnolia and make sure this little man gets a blessing.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Woo. Love it. Absolutely.
Okay, so as you've been watching and following the Hood News and Hood News Unfiltered the last couple of weeks, you've been seeing that obviously it's rodeo season here in Houston, and we got a rodeo roundup.
Yes, we do, man. I don't know. What do you call it when they get the calf and tie them up in the certain...
The calf scramble.
Yes, the calf scramble. There you go. Man, they got somebody scrambled up. I mean, she was already scrambled before.
Yeah.
But something happened. something went down. This lady got rowdy, and they needed, control, the environment.
Yeah, props to what's this? The sheriff's department. This is DPS.
I think it's DPS.
Yeah, DPS is out there taking crowd control. I mean, good thing that there's crowd control out there. We've seen quite a few incidents this past year during rodeo, but nothing too wild and crazy. But man, if you're gonna go to rodeo, behave yourself. If you don't, you're gonna end up on Grizzy's Hood News.
Yeah, so like some of the ladies always, the chiquitas, shout out to the chiquitas, they appreciate law enforcement. Sometimes we get those comments like, handcuff me, I want to be handcuffed. Ladies, is this what you guys are referring to? Because like it's like so smooth, like with it, man.
Yeah, homegirl's gonna miss out on the funnel cake later.
There he goes. Whoop, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So,
homeboy was really good at calf scrambling.
Yes, man.
The HPOU on Facebook says calf scramble is everyone's favorite event. Now that trooper gets a scholarship to raise his own heifer for next year's rodeo.
Man, shout out to HPOU. Ricardo Albonce says, well, she wanted a rodeo.
Yeah, she's going to miss out on that funnel cake.
Yeah. Man, and fried Oreos.
Maybe too much fried Oreos and liquor.
Yeah.
Juan on Facebook says he picked her up and even I said, "Hi, Papi."
Yeah. Hey, man crushes are real, man. Like, you respect this kind of stuff. Look, he like a real G, man. He got her real quick and like a 1-2 step, man.
Hey, if every event, every police event is like this, ended like this, will be good.
Yeah, man. Just nice and peaceful. No further incident.
If you watch the video, she's also saying, "Sweetheart, just wait." She said something about.
Yeah, somebody was talking to her. Hey, don't resist, and just
fight
trying
it later,
to get some
sweetheart.
Good, yeah, fight it out later. All right, Hector. So, Hood News never knows. Like from one moment to the next, I get dispatched out to crazy calls, serious calls, fun calls. Man, I get called out to a Whataburger off of Little York and East Tex Freeway. Shout out to the workers, by the way, at Whataburger. I love you guys. They know me through the drive-thru.
Yeah.
It's one of my spots. So the good old people at Whataburger found themselves in a situation where the drive-thru wasn't able to move because there was a disturbance on top of the building happening. So we had, unbeknownst to us, because when we walked in, we see this guy on top of the roof. And we see fire department, we see the Harris County Sheriff's Office. This dude's perched up there like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's happening. We think it's a mental health distress, situation. We were so concerned at the time, like, whoa, what's going on? It's real. We've seen people threaten to jump. And even though it wasn't like a high distance, still he could have gotten hurt, or somebody, or maybe one of the firefighters
broke his back.
So we're filming, and all of a sudden this guy decides to make a jump for it. He hops over from the top of the vehicle down to a 4Runner, smashes the hood really good, does a whole other job to it. And then we find out that when they're arresting him, that they're actually arresting him because he was a suspect running from a Valero nearby, evading cops. And that's what he does. It's wild.
And he's 1 foot, one shoe's not on there, so it's hot on the roof too as well. But the fact that he was able to get up there.
Yeah. I mean, the roof was hotter than the fries. And at one point, this lady comes out.
Yeah.
And she's the manager, and she comes out with the food. So I feel like that sped it up. Not all heroes wear capes. Yeah. And look, there she is, the manager, crowd control. Yeah. Hey, this lady is a jack of all trades.
Hey, when you're in that Whataburger line at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you know how to handle crowd control. That's pretty good.
Look at her. She's like, get back. Everybody, man, hey, she's the MVP, man, for real.
Yeah, and then of course we had a good crowd there watching live. I was watching at a restaurant with some family members while this was happening, and I was sitting at a bar, and then behind me, the waiters and the people walking by, I had a crowd of people around me watching the live event, but you had about 7,000 people, I think, at one time.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was pretty hectic, man. We had a lot of traffic, but yeah, it was just something we'd never seen before. At first, it was very serious, and then, man, it kind of turn a little comical at some point, but man, prayers going up regardless to this person. You got to be desperate in some kind of way to be hopping on roofs. And we don't even know how he got there.
Yeah, and thank God nobody got hurt too as well, because obviously we would be making jokes about it. But you know, nobody seriously got hurt. You know, obviously he caused a big scene there. But jumping off the roof onto that car, that was some serious stunt moves there.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. You know, it's not for everybody. He's very agile, old school dude, but yeah.
Hey, Grizzy, I love your play-by-play of it.
Oh! 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 There he goes! There he goes! Oh! Hey! Hey! They got him! Woo! He jumped off like Spider-Man! Hey! Oh my God! You can tell I've been to car meets before, so that was my thing. I've seen a bunch of awesome tricks out there on the road, and I get real amped up. Well, I got really amped up when he made it down.
Yeah.
And I was so scared because I didn't know if he was actually going to make it down safely. There he goes. Look. Oh my gosh. Dude.
I'm surprised the Whataburger worker didn't help stop, because she was doing pretty well.
She might as well. Yeah, she could have cuffed him. She could have did like the way they did that lady at the rodeo. Yeah. What do you call it? The calf scramble? Yeah.
Scramble.
Man, that's going to be a new term, calf scramble.
That's the Hood Olympics on another level right there.
Dude, he is definitely right now. It's kind of between him, Aquaman. I don't know if Aquaman. Yeah, we had Aquaman.
That was
that was like 2023. So he's but we've had already some serious contenders so far. This dude, I think, might be the one for right now.
Parkour was in the Olympics.
There you go. Man, yeah, he's holding the belt right now for that one.
Yeah, Andrea on Facebook says, "Dang, how do you explain that to the insurance?"
Ooh, yeah, you know, and I think that's an older vehicle. They might have just had liability, so I feel really bad for them. That was a Hood News peep, by the way.
Right.
She was ushered out of the restaurant. Her and her husband were having dinner, and they were asked to evacuate the building because they didn't know what was going to happen. I thought it was going to turn into a SWAT standoff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. The energy was definitely like real excitement, like just like whoa.
Well, it seemed like he was kind of feeding off the crowd that was showing up too as well. And he saw the helicopters.
He had homies too that were yelling out for him, and they thought it was funny.
The Hood showed up for him.
Yeah, the Hood definitely showed up, and there was a crowd of people. You'll see them all right there. Look. All the people filming. This is like the true essence of the Hood News.
Yeah.
I live where the Hood News like kicks. That's the home of the Hood News. Like, seriously, the Northeast side is where it's at.
All right, so if you found yourself on the wrong side of the law, and you find yourself or know somebody that's on the wrong side of the law, it could be something that's being falsely accused, or some situation where you just need the right representative. Many times, Grizzy, we find that if somebody goes by just a court-appointed attorney, they might not get the fair justice they're looking for.
Exactly.
But we have the right advocate for you. That is Corey Roth at the Corey Roth Law Firm. He is the defender for you and will fight for your rights and to get the justice you're looking for. And not only that, you can find him on hoodnewslawyer.com.
Wow.
So again, if you know somebody or if you find yourself on the wrong side of the law, make sure you reach out to hoodnewslawyer.com. That's Corey Roth, attorney at law. Okay, so, another round of what's happening at the area hotel rooms. We got a hot special at Mustang Inn this past week.
Yes, we do. So, what was it, like Sunday night?
Yeah, it was Sunday night, I believe.
Yeah. So, Sunday night, your girl's chilling, and dispatcher Steve, let me tell you all about Steve. He's a great person out in Florida.
Thank you, Steve.
That dispatches me, like we're friends, and he's listening to the Houston radios, and a lot of times he helps me with like, hey, pursuits.
Right.
Like, that's a real big one. He's into listening to those. So he's like, hey, there's a pursuit over there by your house. Are you by your house? I said, yeah, I am. And man, it was like, go here, go there, go there, you're there. And I'm like, oh my God, where are we at? I said, you know what? I'm gonna stay right here. Let's wait till it ends, and then tell me where to go. So finally, this pursuit that started somewhere in Northeast Houston went round and round and round through like Lockwood, Hirsch, Jensen, back to 59, Little York, Homestead Road. I mean, they were Bentley. They were hitting up all the major streets in the hood. And next thing you know, they finally end the pursuit at a Mustang Inn.
Oh, one of those hotels.
Yes, the $10 an hour rooms. Yeah,
the free HBO.
Yes, free HBO and so much more, where dreams can come true, folks. Yes. So I never been into that spot before. Like, I always reported from the outside.
Right.
So I got to walk in, my curiosity. And yeah, they had 3 suspects. All of them were very, very young.
Right.
One person was basically like a child. And so it's like, this is one of those things where I had to, get the mom shoes on and then be like, hey, people, check on your kids, man. These kids could have gotten hurt, injured somebody, killed somebody themselves, officers, all kinds of craziness. So it's one of those things where I tell people, watch your kids, man. Have communication. Know where they're at.
And this is what we're talking about earlier with the Adrian story, where he was out, doing lemonade, and we got to support the community. It takes a village. I always had the saying where it takes a village to raise a child, right? And we have a responsibility of just supporting the parents that's there to help take care of the kids. But here we have a situation where there's a young girl who's probably 13, 14, 15 years old and getting herself hanging out with the wrong people, wrong crowd. And, maybe this is probably the best thing that's probably ever going to happen to her, that she gets caught and gets out of that situation. But, it could have ended up worse.
On a Sunday night when technically, I know they're out for spring break, but, we see this a lot, even during school nights. So there needs to be, more parental guidance, like somebody involved. The parents show up and then they're embarrassed, and of course we're angry because like this could have all been prevented. If people had a more tighter grip on where their kids are at, and just knowing, just who they're hanging out with.
If you're a parent, know who your kids are hanging out with. There's a saying, you show me your friends and I'll show you your future. The same thing goes with kids. Who your kids hang out with is who they're going to be.
Exactly. All right, Hector. So last night we got notified that there had been a police officer involved shooting over in Montgomery County in a small little town. I never heard of Oak Ridge, but there is a town called Oak Ridge real close to the Woodlands.
It's right across the freeway from Woodlands Mall.
Yes, right across from Woodlands Mall. And these are really amazing people. We had so many layers of law enforcement out there. We had DPS, HPD. We had Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, Harris County Sheriff's Office. We had Oak Ridge Police Department, Oak Ridge North Police Department. We had so many agencies out there because apparently there was an investigation at that time being done, surveillance conducted on a suspect that was suspected of robbing several liquor stores around the Fort Bend County, Harris County, and then Montgomery County area.
So he was a serial robber. He was going from store to store, robbing these places, and law enforcement and just
they were keeping an eye on him, and I guess they saw him, and he gave chase around the back of the businesses where I guess there was like a bayou or something that runs back there, and that's when he brandished a weapon, and they F around and you're gonna find out.
And he did. And the full force of the law enforcement came around too as well. That was really exciting to see. As far as unfortunately it was unfortunate situations. But the law enforcement's unity. When you have Montgomery County, Harris County, HPD was even there.
To me, it was like the all-star reunion. I was like, oh my God, I love law enforcement. We backed them up 100%. And to see all the rock stars, we had Lieutenant Scott Spencer, we had Chief Finner, all these big, people. We also got to meet the district attorney
from Montgomery County. And they call it MoCo or Montgomery County.
Yeah, they call it MoCo, but
they don't play around.
No, not at all.
They don't play around
not
out there.
At all. And it was really refreshing to hear a district attorney speak and speak on the safety of the citizens and all those important things that we also would like in our own city.
And when you were out there, I saw you were broadcasting live and doing a lot of movement too as well, but there was some, as far as it was a specific business that this individual was out to get there.
Yeah, he was targeting liquor stores.
Right. So it was going from, I think, southwest side all around town.
Yes, all around. And he was making his moves to Montgomery County, and nobody was having that. And tax-free justice pretty much.
Yep. All right, Amanda on Facebook says, like the DA said, and the sign says, don't mess around in Montgomery County. They are not playing. Glad to live in MoCo.
Oh, yeah. And then Mary Lovelady, she expressed what a lot of people, I think, feel in Harris County. Harris County needs him for a district attorney. I like him. Yeah, a lot of us were very starstruck, including myself. We like to hear less sympathy for the criminals and more sympathy for the victims.
Absolutely. We're finding out, here in Harris County that a lot of people are getting out with easy bonds and just getting out in the streets. Repeat offenders are out. So when we find out there's a serious crime that's happened, whether it's a murder or whatever it is, we're finding out this person was just let out recently on bail.
Yeah. It's just sad.
Okay, so last week we reported on the death of Carlos Fernandez, a 12-year-old who was just protecting his mom out in the east side of Houston. But we have some really good news that justice has caught up with the suspect.
Yeah, they got a suspect. They got Terry Brian Rivera. He's in custody. He was at the border, the U.S.-Mexico border.
He was on the run.
He was making a run for it. They also got his mom, for assisting, for interfering with that. So they got her. They charged her. And let this be a warning to anybody, trying to hide criminals. This kind of stuff is going to happen. Now this lady has an ICE detainer. Like she's feeling the consequences of having helped her killer's son.
It's going to catch up to you. And
it will.
And there's cameras everywhere. I saw that there was a report somewhere they saw her or someone driving down 45 North or going up 45 North, going somewhere. So whether you're driving somewhere or trying to help a suspect, they're going to catch up to you.
There's cameras everywhere. Everything's being monitored. Everything's digital these days.
Text messages.
Everything. There's a digital print. Like you have to basically be like without a phone out in the woods or something if you don't want anybody to catch your trails or whatever's going on. But this lady was foolishness and effery, man, all the way. And she too shall spread cheeks. And that's just it.
And and Terry was on the run. He got caught at the U.S. border. Was he caught by the Border Patrol?
I believe so. Okay. I think it was I'm not really sure what county that is out there. But we got an updated mugshot as well. I want to include that so that we could show everybody. I just posted it today. But finally some justice for Carlos in the makes, because it's not over yet. I mean, there's still going to be possibly years of this going to court.
And props to the law enforcement here locally too as well for rounding up and going after this guy. He was very close to getting across the border and getting, not saying that he's getting away, but he could have bought himself some time going across. But props to the Sheriff's Department here in Harris County for getting this guy behind bars where he belongs and truly trying to find justice for sweet Carlos and his family who are hurting right now. Our prayers are for that community and for the Fernandez family. Who are hurting.
Yeah, they laid him to rest a few days ago, and it was a very beautiful ceremony. And I got to talk to his family, and they sent me a picture of him with one of the Harris County Sheriff's deputies when he was a little boy. I said, "Who is this little boy?" They're like, "That's Carlos." And I was like, "Oh, Carlos was such a little hero all the way to the end, to his final moments. He was protecting his family, the little man of the house." And he had told his loved ones when he posed for that picture with law enforcement that he was going to be the type of man that was going to be driving the cop car, not sitting in the back seat of one. So, man, rest in peace. May your light always shine, little Carlos Fernandez.
All right, so that'll do it for this week's Hood News Unfiltered, episode 11.
Yes.
Grizzy, got any last things to say?
Man, thank you, everybody, for supporting. As always, hit me up in Messenger. If you got anything you want us to highlight, showcase, let people know any awareness. Hey, keep in mind, we don't do cheaters episodes, okay? So I got a lot of cheaters requests. I don't know what's going on. But thank you, everybody, for joining us.
And behave yourself. If not, you don't want the Grizzy on you. You don't be showing up on the Grizzy's page. But until next time, if it's real news,
it's Hood News.